In the frigid waters of Alaska, there is a hunt worth more than $10 million is happening. There, the prey is giant flounder, a creature as flat as the surface of the sea, but weighs up to 600 pounds, strong enough to pull a fisherman off the deck in a split second. Under a thick fog, hundreds of ships left the ports of Seward, Homer, and Kodiak, each carrying the same dream: to pull up from the bottom of the ocean a life-changing monster. A single fish can pay off a bank loan, buy back a winter, or ruin a rival's dreams across the bay. In Alaska, the sea contains more than just fish. It contains money, power, and greed. And in that game, there are only two outcomes: either return with a fish hold full of silver, or let the cold sea swallow everything. $10 million on the water, but just one small mistake, and it's gone forever. The Discover, the 600-pound monster halibut, inside Alaska's $10 million fishing battle. The sea calmed, the mist cleared, revealing deep waters that stretched to infinity. Where the light never reached the bottom, ancient creatures still quietly lurked. In that darkness, the ruler is not a shark nor a giant octopus, but Pacific halibut, a creature as flat as a sheet of steel, but can be larger than a grown man. They lay motionless, half buried in the sand, the other half blending in with the color of the seabed. Their eyes moved along the side of their heads, watching every movement above, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Pacific halibut, with a body as flat as a large leaf, completely blending into its surroundings. Its whole body seemed designed to evossive every eye, with colors and textures almost identical to the seafloor. Instead of having eyes spread out on both sides, flounder eyes again moved up on the same side of the body, located at the head, looking straight up at the water surface from the bottom, like a mysterious camera observing everything. The flounder's fins are so flat that when viewed from above, they blend completely into the sea floor, making the fish appear part of the world, a silent warrior hiding in the shadows. Every year, as halibut fishing season approaches, Alaskan fishermen don't just prepare their boats and nets. They prepare for a relentless war with the ocean, with giant flounders lurking at the bottom. In season, ports like Seward, Homer, or Kodiak become combat centers where everything can change in the blink of an eye. The journey begins before dawn as the ships quietly left port. Each boat carries the hope and determination of the fishermen, a hunt not only for fish, but also for Ea, the season that changed my life forever. The ship drifted out to sea, where the water could be so cold that frost-bitten, and the sea wind blew so hard it seemed to want to sweep everything away. To catch giant flounder, Alaskan fishermen not only need skills, but also have to face harsh challenge from both nature and themselves. The war is not only between people and fish, which is one battle of wits and power between man and the ocean, where a small mistake can cost them an entire season. Everyone has an important role to play, but no one can do it all. Complete control, every situation. Everything must happen. Perfect in a moment, from holding the fishing line steady to making sure the boat doesn't capsize. a small mistake. To be to lose the whole fishing season is not only lost a fish, but also lost the chance to survive the winter. An entire fishing season can be ruined by one too strong pull or a wrong decision in a decisive moment. When the last giant flounder was pulled aboard, the sight was almost unbelievable. The massive, long, heavy body rose, and the fisherman breathed a sigh of relief as get the final measurement. Flounders cross the threshold, 600 pounds. They're not just trophies, they're living legend. A giant flounder, after being examined and evaluated, could sold for thousands of dollars just from one trip. But behind that number is a fierce battle. Fishermen face raging sea, the weather is extremely harsh, and not a few times they have to bet their lives just to find that fish. This industry is more than just fishing. It is the lives of the brave, people who bet with the sea, with fish, and with their own fate. A flounder can change their destiny or make them lose everything. But this does not stop them, because in every giant flounder contains not only financial opportunities, but also dream of a full life with the sea. When the giant halibut is finally hauled aboard, the process has only just begun. From the fishing port, where fishermen toil in the sea, the fish must make a long journey before reaching the tables of gourmets around the world. The giant fish were put into a cold storage room where the processing line started operating. Every step must be carried out with utmost care. The flounder, after being quality controlled, will be dissected, remove skin and unused parts. For the giant flounders, individual pieces of meat can be cut into thick slices to prepare sashimi or fresh fish, and meat will be fried, grilled, or used as a snack. Grilled halibut with premium spices in five-star restaurants. Fresh fish slices, drizzled with a little extra virgin olive oil and a few Asian spices, create an irresistible rich flavor. From the processing plant, flounder will be distributed through the high-end import channel to restaurants luxurious in big cities like New York, Tokyo, or Paris. Here, the fish is not just a dish, but symbol of wealth and class. Exquisitely prepared by master chefs, flounder becomes a dish that can be enjoyed at lavish parties or on the dining tables of high-class guests. For every giant flounder, the story doesn't end when it's caught. It's a value chain full of tension and sweat from the open sea to the kitchens of five-star restaurants. Word sport arrive processing, and finally, consume flounder industry. This not only enriches fishermen, but also makes these fish become luxury food worth its weight in gold. When setting out to sea, fishermen do more than just fish. They cast their nets into the deep seas. Object: theirs, the giant flounders are hiding. Each steel fishing rod, each giant hook, all a fine special design, withstand the terrible pulling force of fish weighing more than 600 pounds. The fishing line has great strength, but even so, no one can be sure that the line will not break under the strength of a flounder. When a fish bites the hook, tension reached a climax. Fishermen struggling with the fishing line, the body strained under the pull, and the fishing rod creaked. A life and death struggle began. A giant flounder that does not surrender easily. The more the fish was pulled closer to the ship, the more fierce in the fight is more clear. One person holds the rope, one person pulls the lever, and one person steers the ship to keep balance between theraging waves. When fishermen pull giant flounders from the seafloor, they're not just pulling up trophies. They're pulling up the burden of an industry full of tension, where sustainability is under threat. The flounder fishery brings huge profits, but there is how many of them think about long-term effects of this exploitation. The modern flounder industry, with its sophisticated technology and equipment, is facing a great paradox. The constant growth of this industry may lead to the extinction risk of the flounder itself. The giant flounder industry continues to grow, but can we protect it? The ocean and valuable resources. How do we keep them alive for future generations? This question is not just for Alaskan fishermen, but for all of us. If you want to continue the journey of discovery, the natural world, from the deep oceans to the wild mountain peaks, don't forget, subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell. Don't miss out on exciting videos about natural wonders, survival battles, and untold stories.